Imagine a world where learning is truly built around you, the student, not just adaptive, but like really personalized.
Yeah, understanding your unique needs, your pace, what makes you curious.
Exactly. And available all the time, wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't sci-fi anymore.
Not at all.
It's what being built right now with artificial intelligence. It's changing things incredibly fast.
The speed is really something, isn't it? Unprecedented.
Yeah. So let's unpack this. This episode is all about AI and, the future of education. We're looking at how AI is becoming this foundational thing.
Right, not just another tool, but part of the core edtech structure.
Yeah.
What's really striking is how fast AI is integrating. It's moving past being just an add-on.
Right.
It's becoming fundamental infrastructure, reshaping, well, pretty much everything from basic math to how a teacher plans their whole week.
So let's start with the student. You mentioned personalization. That seems like the biggest promise, right? Moving away from that traditional one-size-fits-all classroom.
Yeah, exactly. That old model, it just doesn't work for everyone. AI can analyze so much data for each student.
What kind of data are we talking about?
Well, not just test scores, it's their learning pace, which concepts they nail, where they stumble, how engaged they are, things like that. And based on all that, it can dynamically tailor lesson plans. It can adjust the curriculum, in real time.
So the system itself decides, okay, this student needs more practice here, or they've got this, let's move on.
Precisely. It's not just showing the same stuff in a different way. It's actually changing the content and the path the student takes.
Wow, okay.
The goal is to keep it challenging but not frustrating, engaging but not boringly repetitive.
Makes sense.
And we're already seeing this. Platforms like Dreambox Learning for math or Smart Sparrow, which is built as an adaptive platform, they're doing this now.
And presumably seeing results.
Yeah, the evidence suggests these personalized approaches can really boost student outcomes. Getting something tailored just for you, it just works better.
It feels different, more effective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so beyond adjusting the main curriculum, AI is also becoming a kind of tutor.
Yes, and that's a massive development. These AI-powered intelligent tutoring systems, they're significant.
How do they work? Are they just fancy quizzes?
Oh, much more than that. They give real-time feedback, adaptive help. They guide students step by step. They can pinpoint exactly where students' knowledge gaps are and then adjust the teaching approach right there on the spot.
Like having an expert tutor on call 24/7.
Pretty much. Virtual guides always available. And that availability, that's huge for access.
Right, for students who maybe can't afford a human tutor or live somewhere remote.
Exactly. It sort of democratizes that really high level of individual support that used to be, well, a luxury.
Are there examples we might know?
Sure, things like Wolfram Alpha, amazing for STEM knowledge.
Hmm.
Or Amira Learning, which is like a reading assistant. Then you have Cogni, Khan Academy. They're all in these kinds of intelligent capabilities.
That's fascinating for the student side. Okay, let's shift gears. What about the teachers? How does all this affect them? I hear a lot about reducing the administrative burden.
That's a really crucial point. Teachers spend so much time on tasks that aren't, face-to-face with students.
Grading, planning, paperwork.
All of it. Managing grade books. AI tools are really designed to automate a lot of that grind.
Like grading. That sounds like a game changer.
It is. Tools like GradeScope, they use machine learning for grading, and the reports are, well, pretty impressive.
How much time are we talking?
The figures suggest anywhere from 20% up to maybe even 40% of a teacher's time saved.
Wow, 40%?
Yeah, it's significant. Think about what that frees up. And you also have plagiarism detectors like Turnitin, CopyLeaks, automating those essential checks.
So saving teachers potentially almost half their week.
Yeah.
That fundamentally changes the job, doesn't it?
Yeah,
What do they do with that extra time?
that's the key, right? By taking away the repetitive stuff, AI lets teachers focus on why they got into teaching in the first place.
The human side.
Exactly. More one-on-one time, richer feedback, mentoring, designing those really creative lessons that need a human touch.
And I read the AI can even help them figure out which students need that extra attention.
Yes, precisely. AI systems track student progress, analyze performance data. They use something called predictive analytics.
Okay, what's that?
It's basically looking for patterns in past data to predict future outcomes, so the system can flag students who might be starting to struggle or fall behind.
Before it becomes a crisis.
Exactly. It shifts intervention from being reactive after the bad grade to proactive, spotting issues early so the teacher can step in with targeted support.
It sounds like, reducing that grind and providing better support could genuinely help with teacher morale, maybe even retention.
There's definitely that potential.
Yeah.
Workload and burnout are huge issues. We saw that example of the AI chatbot Pounce at Georgia State University.
Right, handle tons of admin queries.
Over 70%. That freed up staff for more meaningful work. These tools aren't about replacing teachers. They're about empowering them.
Okay, so AI transforms learning, supports teachers.
Yeah,
What about the classroom itself, the physical or virtual space? You mentioned immersive tech earlier.
right. Virtual reality and augmented reality. They're becoming really powerful classroom tools, and AI makes them even better.
How so?
They create these incredibly immersive simulations, interactive environments that just weren't possible before.
Yeah, virtual field trips. I remember hearing about those.
Exactly. Google Expeditions let students go places they couldn't otherwise, but it's way more than sightseeing.
Okay.
Think virtual science labs with Labster. Students can do experiments that are too expensive or maybe even too dangerous for a real school lab.
Or like exploring 3D models.
Yeah, anatomy simulations with things like the Curoscope virtuality using AR. It makes complex subjects tangible.
That's incredible. That makes that hands-on learning so much more accessible.
It really does. And AI personalizes these experiences too, adjusting difficulty or focus based on the student. It really democratizes things. High-end lab work, specialist training, suddenly available to way more students.
Even soft skills.
Yeah, practicing public speaking or job interviews with tools like virtual speech in VR. It's scalable, less intimidating.
What else is showing up directly? Chatbots again.
Yeah, AI chatbots are becoming more common as virtual learning assistants. They give students that 24/7 support.
Answering questions, helping with concepts.
Right, clarifying things, answering FAQs, even helping coordinate group projects or collaborative tasks. Cogni is another platform doing this kind of thing.
And collaboration. I mean, AI is popping up in all the work tools we use every day. Is that happening in education too, for student projects?
Absolutely, especially for older students, higher ed. Tools like ClickUp Brain, Slack AI, Notion, Miro Assist.
Right. Loom, Trello, Asana.
All those. The AI features in them can help students automate bits of project management, streamline communication, summarize long discussions or documents.
Brainstorm ideas.
Yeah, brainstorm, manage shared knowledge. It helps organize group work in, well, much smarter ways.
It's just amazing how integrated AI is becoming.
Right.
Personalization, teacher support, the actual classroom environment.
Yeah.
But okay, with all this power, all this data,
Yeah.
there's gotta be a downside, right? We have to talk ethics.
Absolutely. It's non-negotiable. As AI gets imprinted, we have to grapple with the ethical side.
And not just about tech.
No, it's about the impact on real students, real communities. And two huge concerns are fairness and equity and protecting student data privacy and security.
Let's start with fairness. Algorithmic bias, what does that actually mean in school?
Well, it comes down to that the AI learns from. If that data reflects existing societal biases, race, gender, income, disability, whatever,
The AI learns the bias.
it can, yeah. It can learn and then perpetuate those biases. So maybe an AI tutor isn't as effective for certain groups, or assessment results are skewed, or some students don't get access to the best personalized resources.
And well, might that happen?
Imagine if the training data shows a group historically underperforms because of, say, systemic issues outside of school. The AI might wrongly predict future students from that group will also struggle, and then maybe limit their opportunities or the level of challenge it offers them.
So it could accidentally make existing inequalities even worse.
It absolutely could, especially when you add in the digital divide.
Right, access to the tech itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you need fancy devices and fast internet, students from low-income backgrounds who might already be disadvantaged could fall even further behind.
Okay, that's fairness. What about the data privacy side? Schools collect so much sensitive info.
They do, and AI systems often need vast amounts of data to work well. Academic records, behavior patterns, how you click around online, maybe even biometric data.
Biometric, wow.
Yeah, for logins or things like that sometimes. The sheer scale raises red flags. Data breaches are an obvious risk.
But it's more than just breaches, right?
Oh, yeah. How is the data used? Is it shared with third parties without clear consent? Could it be used for surveillance? Protecting this data is crucial. Public trust is really fragile here.
These are really significant challenges. So, what do we need to do? How do we navigate this responsibly?
It really comes down to being intentional, designing ethically from the start, and having strong safeguards.
So, for bias?
Transparency is key. Know where the data comes from, how the algorithms work. Actively use diverse data sets that reflect reality, not just historical biases, and regular, independent audits to check for and fix bias as the systems evolve.
And for privacy?
Robust data protection, obviously, encryption, strict access controls, but also clear communication.
Telling parents and students what's collected and why.
Exactly. Clear policies communicated effectively and getting explicit consent, especially for minors' data, that's non-negotiable. We need compliance with laws like FERPA, COPPA, GDPR too.
So it's not just about building cool tech, it's about building it ethically, responsibly, right from the beginning.
Precisely. Establishing clear, ethical guidelines, embedding principles like fairness, privacy, transparency, being able to understand how the AI gets its answers, and crucially, keeping human oversight.
Right. AI assists, it doesn't replace the final judgment.
Exactly. Educators need to be the ultimate arbiters, able to understand and question what the AI suggests.
Okay, so assuming we can navigate these challenges, what does the future look like if we get this right? What's the big potential here?
Oh, the potential is immense, especially, I think, for bridging those global education gaps.
How so?
Well, think about it. Over 250 million kids worldwide don't have access to quality schooling. Personalized, adaptive AI platforms offer a way to scale delivery of educational resources to them.
Regardless of geography or lack of building.
Right, overcoming those physical barriers.
Are we seeing this actually start to happen yet?
We are in some really creative ways. There's a group called Vimo using simple voice calls on basic phones.
Not smartphones.
Nope, basic mobiles. Delivering daily AI-driven tutoring in rural Sierra Leone. It bypasses the need for internet.
That's incredible.
And another example, ALX in Africa. They're using AI to teach in-demand tech skills like AI and data science to young people, directly addressing workforce needs.
That's really powerful, using AI to get education where it couldn't easily reach before. And what about preparing students for the future workforce itself, which is obviously going to be very AI-driven?
Yeah, it's not just about teaching about AI. It's using AI to cultivate those really essential skills. Critical thinking, problem solving, creativity.
But how do you do that? Isn't there a risk AI just becomes a shortcut? Students use it to avoid thinking?
That's a crucial point, and it depends entirely on how it's used. AI shouldn't be a crutch. It should be framed as a tool, a resource for exploration.
So, how do you use AI to promote critical thinking?
By designing learning activities that force students to engage critically with it, get them to vet the AI's answers, question its logic, evaluate the quality, the potential bias in what it spits out. AI can help set up complex scenarios, help tackle real-world problems by assisting with research or brainstorming. It can even help structure arguments for debate. The focus shifts, from just memorizing facts to asking good questions, evaluating information, and using AI as a powerful assistant in that process.
So the vision really is human-centered integration, not AI taking over, but enhancing what's possible.
Exactly. Transforming teaching and learning, yes, but keeping those core educational principles and the human element right at the center.
Teacher-student relationship, curiosity, creativity.
All of that. And it means we need to rethink teacher training, rethink curriculum design to really leverage AI responsibly.
Well, this episode has covered so much. I mean, the potential for personalized learning, freeing up teachers, it's huge.
Right, and then seeing it in the classroom with VR, AR, chatbots, collaboration tools.
And hitting those absolutely vital ethical points. Bias, privacy, fairness. It's a lot to take in.
We've seen how AI can boost efficiency, engagement outcomes, but that future really hinges on doing it right. Fairness, data protection, keeping it human-centered.
And hopefully we've given you a good shortcut to understanding these key insights, pulling out the most important stuff from this fast-moving field.
Yeah, getting a handle on the core ideas.
So, as you think about all this, here's maybe something to mull over. AI offers this incredible power, personalization, support, access, But how do we make sure that as we build this future, we don't just, automate the flaws of the past?
Good question.
How do we genuinely guarantee that AI serves to amplify what's uniquely human about education? That spark the mentoring, discovery, critical thought, instead of accidentally squashing it. That's the real balancing act ahead, isn't it?